Hello, this is Mickey Deming from Kahuna Accelerator. Welcome to this presentation. Today we're going to talk about building a growth team, a team that is going to help you get more leads and sales, and a team that you can build with your own resources that you have in-house, even if you have a small team, to drive your business forward and get you some incredible results. So let's start out, and I will let you know who I am. So this is, like I said, I'm Mickey Deming. And for the last 3 years, I've been part of a growth team here at Kahuna Accounting. So Kahuna Accounting provides accounting and bookkeeping services for entrepreneurs and small businesses. And we have done completely, everything we've done has been through inbound marketing, through digital marketing, and we have grown very quickly. We have 250 clients all over the country. We were named Xero's Accounting Partner of the Year, Xero Accounting Software. And have done a lot of things right. We've done a lot of things wrong as well. And so hopefully, as we talk through this, we'll go over some of the things that we've done and maybe help you learn from our mistakes. One thing that's interesting, though, that we committed to at Kahuna, we really committed to providing great content and doing a lot of education in our marketing. And we have a marketing team that is not accountants. So rather than have our accountants going out and trying to get their own clients, we have a team that has done that. And so in this presentation, we're going to talk about how no matter what your business is, you can find your own team, you can grow your own team that will get you leads and get you clients and profitable customers by applying digital marketing to what you're doing. So here's what we're going to cover. Here's kind of the breakdown of what to expect today. We're going to talk about why you need that in-house team. So I've already got into that a little bit, but even if it's just a team of one, you have a team, a growth strategy to consistently and profitably bring in leads and customers. Then we're going to get into the 8 critical skills that every marketing team must have in 2017. So it's a new world of digital marketing, and there are specific skills that if you have them, you can find where your people are and get in front of them with messages that resonate. Then we'll get into the 4 roles that make up the modern growth team. So there's the skills and then there's the roles. So even if you only have one, you may have to wear several hats and cover the 4 roles. But in order to have a profitable, successful client generating machine, these 4 roles need to all be in place. Then we'll talk about structuring your team to maximize communication and accountability. So for a lot of people, they have a team or they have a strategy in place to get clients and customers, but maybe everyone on the team does not speak the same language or has a different approach or just kind of does it their own way. When you have the right critical skills, the right team, the right roles, then you can have everyone going in the same direction, working together to maximize the results and the impact that you have. So then we're going to talk about how you can take those skills and those roles and apply them to the own team that you have just by training and by providing them with the resources they need to become digital marketing rock stars to bring on clients and customers to move your business to the next level. So we're going to get right into it today. I'm not going to spend a ton of time. I want to move quickly, and we're going to just jump right in and start with this fact that sales and marketing has changed. For the longest time, there was an approach where marketing was in charge of getting leads, and then sales was in charge of closing those leads. That doesn't necessarily work that way anymore. Everything is more overlapping and integrated, and for the most part, sales has changed dramatically in how it works. So here's a big number that we're going to get into that's going to demonstrate how things have changed and how things are just so much different. 57%. This is how far along the sales process a typical B2B customer is before they engage with a salesperson. So what does that mean? What that means is people are doing their research. Think about how you buy things. Think about how you, the purchases that you make. You don't just pick up the phone and call someone, or you don't just respond to someone calling you. You like to do your research, and that's what everyone is doing now. We've gotten used to Amazon and reading reviews and reading content and reading blog posts. Well, for your business and whatever you're trying to sell, it's the exact same way. People, before they want to talk to you, they're going to want to be pretty far along. 57%, by the time they're 57%, they should basically know whether or not they want to work with you. And so this is how things have changed. It's not just someone who is, 1% along the way, you call them and you convince them to work with you. It's not going to work. They're not going to have that. They're not even going to have the conversation. They're going to want to have that information before they reach out. And so that means a lot of things for you, and it means your content, your ability to engage is critical if you ever want to have a sales conversation with someone. Here's another stat. 97% of purchasing decisions are starting on the internet. Less than 6% are happening on the internet. So that kind of goes to the flip side. So if you really double down on digital marketing and your content, that's great to start a conversation. That's great to get in front of people. That's great to educate, but that's not going to take them all the way. You can't just only do that. You have to have a process. You have to have a journey that the clients and customers go on, where they can educate and inform themselves, and then move their way down a process, interact with you, build a relationship, and eventually, close the deal, so to speak. So it's an entire process, an entire relationship, but things are looking much different than they used to. So yes, things have changed. It's much different. It's all about a relationship, and it's about engaging with people at all levels of the journey. And we're going to get into that in this presentation, how you can do that and the skills needed to do that effectively. So here's a question. If sales and marketing have changed, shouldn't your marketing and sales teams reflect those changes? So for Kahuna Accounting specifically, this is what we've done. We've taken our team of marketers, and it's only been 3 of us, and we've gone out there and we've built relationships with people. We've done webinars, we've done content, we've educated, and then when they interact with us, we introduce our accountants who can consult and provide expertise before they become clients. And we talk to people all the time who ask us, how we've grown, how we've gotten these clients. And in those conversations, it's amazing to realize that people, understand how they buy things, that they'll do this research and, approach things a certain way, but then their own marketing and sales teams don't look that way. And they have people cold calling or cold emailing or, just hoping for word of mouth, and they don't have a predictable system that works the way that modern sales and marketing is. And that's costing them a lot of potential business because they're not adapting to the changes that they should be making. Now let's look at those skills that a modern digital marketing team needs to have and needs to excel in to create consistent, profitable leads and clients. We're not going to get into all of them right now, but giving you an overview, you probably don't have all 8, but you should be working through these things. Conversion funnels. How do you get leads? How do you convert them into clients? And how do you convert those clients into raving fans? Content marketing. You need to have customer acquisition. Who's owning that in your business? Who's making sure that the people that engage with your content are then becoming leads that will come back and will continue to engage with you throughout the way? Email marketing, social media, search marketing, data and analytics, and testing and optimization. So that's a lot, and it can be overwhelming. But when you have all of these things working, when you have email marketing so that when people become a lead, you have strategic, purposeful, meaningful emails going out that are taking them and educating them about how you add value to them and what they're doing. And then data and analytics, you're tracking everything that's going on, you're testing it, you are reporting on it, and you are optimizing every step along the way so that if there's ever a gap and you are not getting the amount of leads, the amount of conversions that you need, you can point to exactly what needs to be improved. And of course, search marketing, which has been great for us at Kahuna Accounting, where there's nothing better than when someone finds you organically and they have done their research and they say, I found you guys, I read your content, and I want to work with you. That's something that we all want. But unless you have these 8 disciplines working and in place, it's just not going to happen. So do a quick audit of your own team. Think through these things. How are you doing? Rating from 1 to 10. You don't have to go into it all right now, and I will give you the slides at the end of this to do this assessment. How are you doing on your strategy and conversion funnels, your content marketing, and be honest. And if you are at a 3 or less on a lot of these, that could be seen maybe as a negative, but it's actually a positive, because if you are getting revenue and you are lacking in some of these, that means there's a huge opportunity when you get them working at a high level, that things can really accelerate forward, because all of these things will move the needle in terms of your marketing and your sales process. So here's how we fix this. No more marketing team, no more sales team. It's a growth team. It's time to build a growth team, and that's aligned to the customer journey. Everything from before they've ever even heard of you, all the way to the point where they're a raving fan. And there's a team that owns that process, that owns that result. And that's what we are going to walk through now. So the old model that most businesses are still operating under is that there's 3 buckets. There's marketing, there's sales, and there's support. So for marketing, their job is to spread the word, bring leads in. For sales, their job is to be the hard-nosed closers that go out and talk to the leads and make sure that they get their payments in. And then there's support. So once that sale is made, you have a group of support that is going to stay in touch, keep the feedback, and make sure everybody's happy. The thing about that is, though, is you create these silos, and there's no longer a journey. It's just kind of like a herky-jerky process, and there's a lot of times there's these breakdowns. So with marketing bringing in leads, if they're not aligned with sales and not on the same page, the people are never going to become sales, and everyone's going to be frustrated with each other, because sales is going to tell marketing that the lead quality is bad. Marketing is going to tell sales that they need to be closing the leads, when the reality is you're not taking your client on a journey that is aligned with the process that they're looking to move on to buy something. And they're not looking to be sold. They're looking to go through a process where they're continually educating themselves, learning more, and finding a solution to their problem. And so your growth team needs to work that way. So here's the new model. We get rid of sales and marketing, and we create this growth team, and that is aligned to the customer journey. And so with a growth team, there's 4 roles that work all throughout the process of developing clients. So you have content. So this is where you have your blog posts, videos, your search marketing, your lead magnets, which is something you give away in exchange for an email address or contact information to get in touch with someone. You have acquisition. So someone owns the role of running traffic campaigns, of creating landing pages, of doing email promotions. So taking the content that the content role has created and using that to bring people into the funnel, to develop the relationship so that you can continue to educate people along the way. Monetization. So this is where you have your typical sales, but it's also everything that brings someone from a lead to a sale. And so you're focused on copywriting, developing partnerships, doing business development, doing these things that will allow monetization, sales, new customers to come into the business. And then you have success. So you have your support, your account management, your relationship building, but these 4 all work together. They're not silos, because success is getting feedback from customers. They're getting testimonials. They're getting case studies for content, and content is speaking to monetization about here, what are the conversations you're having on the sales call, because I want to write about those. I want to write FAQs. I want to write videos that are related to the objections that you're hearing in the monetization conversations. That's a pretty cool rhyme right there. But this is how this all works together. You need to have these 4 roles. You don't necessarily have to have 4 individuals in these 4 roles. In a perfect world, you would, and then even more. But just to get your head around this, these 4 roles cover everything that there is to developing a growth team and a business. So the way to think about this is the growth team is not just in charge of revenue. Like, we think about this growth, we think about that it's really all about sales, it's about getting new customers. That is the goal, but really the goal is to think about the journey of the client. So your growth team owns that journey. They own everything from a stranger all the way to a raving fan. And so here's how you can break down that journey, and we call it a value journey. And this is a little worksheet that you can use. And so it starts down here at the bottom left, where you have these stick figures that are a little bit depressed, just kind of confused and wishing they had a solution to whatever their problem is. So they don't even know what that solution is. They just know that they're not in a great situation. And so your job as a growth team is to take them from completely clueless and confused all the way to thrilled and wanting to tell all their friends. So the way that kind of progresses is, first you have to make them aware, then you engage them, then you get a subscription, so that's where that acquisition happens, and you have the ability to then send more education to them. You convert them into a customer, then you excite them. You give them a wow experience so that they're thrilled. Then you ascend. So that first conversion may be a small transaction, and then eventually you ascend them to becoming a high ticket item and a excited client for the long term. Then they become an advocate, then they become a promoter. So this is kind of the journey you want to take them on, all the way from becoming aware to promoting to other people. And there's so many different pieces of content and engagements that have to happen along the way to get them there. But this is the journey that your growth team will move your customers through. So here's some examples. They see an ad at the engaged level. They see a video. Then they opt in to receive some high-level content. Then they make a small purchase. Then they get value from that transaction. They get excited. Then they make some more additional larger purchases. Then they give you a testimonial. Then they tell all their friends and tell the world. So this is the journey we would all love to see all of our clients going down. And it's not that easy, but that's what your growth team is working on. So here's how you take the 4 roles that we talked about before and align them along the customer journey. So you have content, you have acquisition, monetization, and success. Those are the 4 roles we talked about before. So what you can do is take those 4 roles and then lay them over your customer journey. And so you think about people that have never heard of you. Well, you use the acquisition team to think through, where is my ideal customer? How do we get something in front of them? Then you talk to the content team. How do we engage with them? What do they want to hear? What are they interested in? How can we create content that is intriguing to those people? Then the acquisition team figures out how to take that content, turn that into a subscriber. So at Kahuna Accounting, what we've always done, one thing we've done is at tax time, we'll do a checklist. Here's a checklist of everything you need to think about as you head into tax time. You get an email for that, and then you create more content behind that. Then it's convert. You want to get them to either make a small purchase or do something that requires a little bit of commitment on their side. So that could be a demo, that could be a conversation. So to get them to that point, you want your acquisition team and your monetization team, your sales team, to work together to figure out how to get them to take that step. Then you have your excite team, your excite level in the journey. So once they take that step, then you want your content team to continue to educate, to continue to tell stories, provide engagement, and then also your success team or your product team, your delivery team, making sure that the experience they have is an awesome one, because that is so important. Like at every step along the way, if you don't wow them, if you don't give them a reason to continue forward, people are going to drop off. And so at that level, you need your content, you need your success, then you ascend. So that's where your monetization team, if they can get an excited person who's moving along the path, then it's their job to take them to what is your core offer. Most of us have something that is our core offer, our core thing that we want people to have. And so if we've taken all these steps along the way, we should be in really good shape to monetize, to sell that core offer. Then once you have done that, again, you want them to have an incredible experience. If your product or your service sucks, then you probably don't deserve to get the sale. So if it's awesome, then you should be spreading the word as much as you can. And then when they become a client, then you blow them away with your success team and also with continuing to give them valuable content to make sure that they succeed. And once you get them to that point, they should not only be a client and then it ends there, they should be an advocate. They should be giving you a testimonial. They should be giving you a case study, and they should be telling their friends, and eventually moving to the final stage, which is the promoter, which goes all the way back to the beginning, where they are now making other people aware of what you're doing. And so this is, again, your success team that is engaging with them, following up, finding questions, finding out what hiccups along the way they're having, or finding out what would make things even better, and finding out what would it take for you to tell all your friends about this amazing service. And if for some reason they don't want to do that, then you go back to your product and find out how you can make it better. So this is the journey in a nutshell. And when you have all these teams working together, all these roles working together, you can kind of see how it can be a pretty powerful machine where you have people that just kind of, they work themselves through it. And it's not the old model where I have to be a salesperson and get on the phone and convince someone to use this. They should be kind of excited as they move along each step of the way, and they move along each step as in their timing that makes sense to them and the journey that they're on. So once you kind of wrap your head around that and you understand these are the roles that I need to have, this is the journey that my ideal client needs to go down, which for you need to put some thought into that in understanding what is that journey, what does it look like. Then it's like, how do you fill those roles? So, we all have the team that we have right now. Maybe we're looking to hire, maybe we're looking to add, but we all have people, and the great thing is it's not as hard as it seems to get people to learn those skills, and the skills to be able to deliver value at each step along the journey. And so the next step along the way is to train your team. But here's a key point about that. Is more important than any digital marketing skills and tactics and strategies to get your stuff in front of people and get them to respond to an offer and things like that, is your team has to be aligned and on the same page with what you are about, who you are, who you want to be, what you are delivering, and why people should care. So the first step before you worry about all of these different tactics is making sure you have alignment on what is your story as a team, as a company, on what you deliver to your prospects and to your clients. And so once you get that aligned, a lot of things get a whole lot easier, and then those roles start to kind of take care of themselves. So once you have that, then it's time to train your team on their new roles. And so you break these things out and you own them. And so what we've done, and what we're going to talk about now, we have partnered with Digital Marketer, who specializes in this type of training. They do high-level, in-depth training on all of these core competencies, and they help teams to go through this process so that you are fully well-rounded. And so even if you have a team of 2, you can have your team of 2 go through 4 of these trainings each and become that full service growth team that brings people all the way through the journey. So here is where a recommended place or how this can kind of play itself out. So first, here's one of the certifications that we provide with Digital Marketer, is the Customer Value Optimization. So that is where you learn how to go through the client journey like we walked through. And so what this does, and this is a great place to start with your team, is to go through this, because what you do as you go through this is you map out that whole process. You map out what are the steps that take them from just hearing about you all the way through being a promoter. And as you do that, your whole team understands what are the goals, what's the shared vocabulary, how are we defining a lead, how are we defining a conversion, what are these words. And if we're all saying different things, then we're not on the same page. And it's very easy, once you have this mapped out, to put metrics to it. So if I'm getting this many leads, that should turn into this many appointments, that should turn into this many customers, that should turn to this many referrals. All those things can be tracked with data, but until you have it mapped out, until you have shared goals and a shared language, you're not going to be able to use any metrics, and you're not going to be able to find out where are people falling through the cracks, or what can be optimized and improved to get people through. So this is where you'd start, and this training in itself can completely be a game changer for your entire business. Then you have a content team. So your content team may be one person, it may be multiple people, but they can go through the content marketing training, the search marketing training, and the social and community training. And so you have a content person or team that owns all of these things. And think of how much power that can be to create content that's educating along all steps of the customer journey, to create content that allows people to find you in search terms, and to create content and create engagement on social channels with people that have never heard of you, with people that are potential prospects, and also with your current clients to engage with them and add more value to them, to continue the conversation with them, which will help them to become even more promoters. Your acquisition team that we talked about, which is in charge of getting these leads, they can go through a content marketing training as well. So they need to know what the content team is doing and how they're educating so they can position offers behind that content. Then you have your customer acquisition training. So training that's completely devoted on taking prospects and turning them into customers. Then you have your analytics and data. So how do you track along every step of the journey and know how to improve based on what the data is saying? Your monetization team, they're going to want the e-commerce training, which is really a lot about sales and how to position things online. Even if you're not an e-commerce business, this training walks through how to position offers so that people will interact and respond. Then the email marketing, which is a very underrated tool that, when you have someone's email address, you have the ability to speak directly to them. And, if you're doing it well, you should have a 33% open rate roughly. That's a lot of people that can engage with your message. And when you do it right, that can be very, very powerful. And then the optimization and testing. So you should always be testing, always be improving. And when you're using data and you're optimizing it, you can move the needle in your business just by studying these things and by making small, simple tweaks, small 10% improvements that over time can make a huge impact. Then you have your success team. You want them to also know what the sales team is doing so that they're following along with the journey that your clients are on. You want your success team to have the email marketing training because they're going to be communicating above all else. And a lot of that's going to be through email. And so you want that to be strong and they can get that training. And also the social and community. So we all know the world we live in today is lived in these social networks, and businesses are really just an extension. They're people. Everything we're doing is people related. And so your success team needs to be acting like humans and engaging with people where they are. And where people are is Facebook and is LinkedIn and is Twitter. Depending on what your particular niche is, you need to know where are your people interacting, and you should be engaging with them there. So eventually you want everyone to have all of these trainings so that you have a fully well-rounded team that knows, what each other is going through. You don't have that sales and marketing division where you're pointing fingers. You all are on the same page and you know what people's goals are, what people are trying to do, and you can get advice and help from everyone throughout the team. And when you have this fully rounded team that knows how to go through these, how to take a customer through these processes, your sales becomes, it's not really selling. You're just kind of walking alongside them through their journey to help them solve the problem that they have. This is exactly what we did at Kahuna Accounting. So we have more leads and clients than our team can actually handle right now. And what we've done is have this journey, and we've educated people on what their options are with accounting. We've created content. We've gotten our content featured on a lot of different sites. And with just a few people, that's what we've done. And you can do that exact same thing with these trainings and by learning how to position your marketing, how to engage in a digital environment. And you'll have clients coming to you. And by the time, most of the time we get on a sales conversation at Kahuna Accounting, people know exactly what they're going to get and they know exactly what they need. And they usually just want to know, how much does it cost and when can I get started? So if that's what you're looking for and you want to take the team that you have and help them become marketing ninjas who create leads, create sales, create raving fans predictably, then I'm going to recommend going to kahunax.com, because like I said before, we've partnered with Digital Marketer, and we are offering high-level trainings in each of these disciplines, all of these 8 core disciplines, and actually a whole lot more that are coming. And you will literally be trained on the way to do digital marketing that the pros do, that the best of the best do, people that have invested millions and millions of dollars in advertising, in conversions, in email marketing, and what are the proven methods that work. And this is exactly what our team at Kahuna has gone through. And so we partnered with Digital Marketer to be able to provide it to others who are asking us, how can we do this with our own team? And the best part about it is you can take your own current team, put them through these trainings, and they're going to learn how to do digital marketing just like the pros. Just to prove it, I mean, these are some of the people that have gone through these exact same trainings. Some of the biggest brands that you can think of, Uber, Dun & Bradstreet, Infusionsoft, people that are heavy invested in marketing and know what they're doing are putting their own teams through these trainings, and we're offering it to you at Kahuna X for actually less than the price if you went straight to Digital Marketer. So what you do, you go there, you get everyone trained and certified, give it a shot. I am certain that it's going to provide value. If you just go through the customer value optimization, build out your funnel, build out your customer journey, is going to make a huge impact on your business. So here's just kind of a rundown. You can actually, so if you're the owner of the business, you don't necessarily want to go through the trainings yourself. You can manage the portal, see where people are at, see what they're being trained on. You can decide who gets what training, so you can specialize with your team, make sure they're getting what they need in the right order. And then you track progress, so you can keep up and see where are people at, where are people in the journey, how are they doing in their testing, and understand when can you start seeing result in the business based on how much your team is learning these skills. So this is exactly how you're going to build your Rockstar Growth Team. You get trained, you learn how to do it, and we're offering it at a very affordable rate where you can go through this process, have accountability, have people on the same page, speaking the same language, and truly becoming a Rockstar marketing growth team that works together as a team to get the results that you are looking for and creating raving fans in your business. So once again, you can head to Kahuna Accelerator, kahunax.com/KX. I want to thank you so much for joining this presentation. It's been a blast to just talk through this. It's been a blast to experience it in our own business, to go through these trainings, to learn how to do these things the right way, and to really, engage our clients in a way that meets them where they are, and it makes them happy to go through it. And I want that for you as well. So go to kahunax.com/KX. Like I said, we are offering the full suite of digital marketer training that is high-level training. And in addition, we have a private Facebook group. So anyone that gets into the Kahuna Accelerator program gets the training and also the Facebook group, which has a group of rockstar marketers that are exchanging ideas, that are going through the trainings themselves, that are sending referrals, and continuing the conversation so that you have accountability and you can learn more from the group. And so this entire package together is extremely valuable. Cost is $250 a month, and it is a month-to-month thing. So you can try it out, put your team in the training, see what type of impact it has, and if you're not happy, if it doesn't work, you can cancel at any time, and there's not any long-term commitment. The reason we put it that way is because once you're in and you start going through these trainings, you get into the group, you're going to be blown away just like us, and I think you'll be very, very pleased, and you're going to see huge results in your business. Even if your team is small, they're going to be able to just equip themselves with a toolkit that is going to make them so much stronger. So check it out, kahunax.com/KX. It's got all the details, but it's also got ways you can get in touch with us if you have other questions and want to learn more. Happy to chat with you about what's going on in your own business. So thanks a lot for taking the time, listening to this, and hope to talk to you soon. Have a great day.